Corps has formed up behind the residences under the command of Senior Company Sergeant Major, Master Warrant Officer Jamal Kett. Here, the final inspection of uniforms is being carried out prior to marching onto the field, which is our parade square. Vincent Massey, Canada's first native-born Governor-General, was one of the first cadet officers of the Corps when it was founded in 1905. Members of the Corps wear the distinctive scarlet tunics of our affiliated unit, the 48th Highlanders of Canada, and kilts of the modern Gordon Tartan, indicating our ties to our allied unit, the Gordon Highlanders in Scotland. In 2004, the Gordon Highlanders amalgamated with the Camerons, Seaforths, King's Own Scottish Borderers, the Royal Scots, and the Black Watch to form the Royal Regiment of Scotland. If you look down the square, you will see Chief Warrant Officer Kevin Rush, the Regimental Sergeant Major, or RSM for short, coming down the pathway accompanied with the Corps Bugler and the company markers and the standard bearers. Our bugler for this year is Sergeant Mark Romanin. The Regimental Sergeant Major has now called for the company markers. Once the markers are properly situated, the bugler will sound the warning, and the battalion will march onto the parade square, taking up position on the appropriate company marker. The Corps is led onto the field by the pipes and drums under the command this year of Pipe Major Alex Brown, Drum Major Andrew Gazzetti, and Lead Drummer Graham Allison. The cadet band officer is Lieutenant Sean Smith, and the company sergeant major is Master Warrant Officer Sam Finnan. There are 8 companies on parade today, each company named for houses at the college. Members of each company, in grades 9 through 12, come from that particular house, with numbers strengthened with the addition of grade 9 students from McDonald House. We also have 3 platoons from Training Company on parade today, consisting of students in grades 7 and 8. In your program, you will find listed the officers and company sergeant majors for each company and platoon. As the parade forms up on the east side of the field, Sifton Company will be on your left. They earned this position of honor by being awarded Best Company in 2011. The regimental sergeant major will now call for the open order march to prepare for the oncoming inspection. The RSM will dress the battalion and then call for each company sergeant major to report his company, the number of those present and absent, and then stands the parade at ease.
Right! Open order, march! Right! Elbow jumping, right, right!
Warrant Officer, Regimental Sergeant Major!
Bradley Company!
26 Sergeant, Cadet Regimental Sergeant Major!
Laval Company!
62 present, 1 absent, Regimental Sergeant Major!
Smith Company!
13 present, 7 absent, Regimental Sergeant Major!
Trade Company!
52 present, 2 absent, Regimental Sergeant Major!
Pipes and drums!
28 present, 0 absent, Regimental Sergeant Major!
Hooray! Attention!
The Regimental Sergeant Major has called the parade to attention as the adjutant approaches. The adjutant this year is Major Osman El Mahdi. At this point, the RSM will turn the parade over to the adjutant and march to his position on the right flank of the battalion. The adjutant will now report the parade state to the Deputy Commanding Officer, Major Ben Collis. The Deputy Commanding Officer will now order the bugler to sound the officer's call.
Hooray!
Great, attention! Mr. Bugler, sound on the officer's call!
The officers are currently under the command of Major Dylan Hussey and include the company and platoon commanders. The cadet officers are carrying swords donated in 1998 by Major John Stewart, the class of 1978, and engraved with the names of the 153 SAC Old Boys who died in World War I and World War II. The DCO will now call upon the Cadet Commanding Officer to take over the parade. The Cadet Commanding Officer this year is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sifton. Please stand for the march on of the flag party. Please be seated. The flag party is under command of Lieutenant Brennan Leslie. There are 2 flags in the flag party. The special white Corps flag was donated to the Corps by the Hauser family in honor of Harry B. Hauser, class of 1903. The flags are marched across the entire battalion so that each cadet was able to see and recognize them, and then moves into its position at the center of the battalion line. The Corps is ready for the arrival of the reviewing party.
Shut!
This year, the reviewing party consists of the reviewing officer, Mr. Bill Yuill, Major Brian McHugh, the commanding officer of the Cadet Corps, Mr. Michael Sifton, chairman of the Board of Governors of St. Andrews College, Lieutenant Colonel Alan Best, class of 92, the commanding officer of the 48th Highlanders of Canada, Major Scott Bissell, region training officer, representing the commanding officer of our Regional Cadet Support Unit, and Lieutenant Colonel Len Wines, representing both the Army Cadet League of Ontario and the Royal Canadian Legion. As the reviewing officer arrives on the dais, the cadet commanding officer will give the order for general salute, for which we ask you to please stand.
Hooray! General salute! Reset! March! Slope! March!
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the grand opening of the Yuill Family Athletic Complex. As you may know, the redevelopment of the upper fields is the $6.5 million Phase 1 of our Not an Ordinary Place campaign. This project has taken us nearly a year to finish, and hundreds of people provided their expertise and effort in order to see this project through to completion. Following the parade today, we invite you back to the Yuill Gym, where we will have refreshments and the opportunity to describe and show you in more detail our aims and objectives for the Not an Ordinary Place campaign and the final phase of construction. We would like to thank Bruce Cosborne and Stephanie Fraser from the Cosborne Giberson Landscape Architects for their hard work in designing this beautiful outdoor athletic complex. And we would like to thank Brett Ritchie, Dave Boychuk, and the staff at Devon Site Contractors. They built an amazing upper fields complex for us. We are very pleased to have the lead donors for the Yuill Family Athletic Complex and today's reviewing officer, Mr. Bill Yuill, and his wife Liz, join us at this Cadet Corps inspection for the official ribbon cutting ceremony. At this time, Mr. and Mrs. Yuill will move forward to begin the ribbon cutting ceremony, joined by the headmaster, Kevin McHenry, the chair of the Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Sifton, the chair of the Not an Ordinary Place campaign and board governor, Mr. Dan Stock, and executive director of advancement and campaign director, Mr. Scott Hayter.
Hooray!
In true Highland tradition, we would like to invite Reverend Bruce Roffey to give the blessing to this day.
Let us pray. God of one, God of all, bless these fields upon which we stand and around us lie, fields donated and built to build Andrians, to nurture boys into complete men, and to develop well-rounded citizens. Upon these fields might the boys of St. Andrews develop strength of body and agility of mind. Upon these fields might the Andrian ideal be lived out, and the values we hold dear be expressed in sportsmanship and fair play, respect for others, perseverance, tenacity, and hard work, courage and optimism, and personal integrity. Upon these fields might those who practice, play, and compete learn much. And may those who come to compete with us see in action what it means to be an Andrian. Upon these fields, may friendships be forged and brotherhood strengthened, traditions honored, and the future created. We are grateful this afternoon for the Yuill family and their generosity, which have provided leadership to the campaign and inspired others to contribute towards the gift of these fields. We are appreciative of all who have contributed and will contribute to the enterprise of making St. Andrews an even greater school and community than it already is, not an ordinary place. Use these facilities, the Yuill Family Athletic Complex, and those yet to be built, for purposes greater than we can envisage or imagine. Thus it is, we dedicate them this afternoon and ask for your blessing upon what we do in your holy name. Amen.
Now, Mr. and Mrs. Yuill will cut the ribbon and officially declare our new fields open.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. That's quite an opening act for a 2-minute speech. You don't get that very often. I'd like to welcome everybody here this afternoon, and on behalf of Liz and myself, we're absolutely delighted to stand out here in front of you on an afternoon that is almost as good as an Alberta afternoon. Wonderful weather, and somebody's looking over ourselves. First, let me congratulate the chairman of the board, board members, and the headmaster for the vision, for the courage, and for the leadership in undertaking this wonderful project they have of defining the whole school. It's really reinventing the whole school, starting with this facility here, but the other ones that are to come. They're just a little commercial here. They're a little bit short of the funding, so I'm sure you'll find a tin cup or a hat or something at the end there, so they take all the help they can get. Okay. We think this facility here is a wonderful complement to the academic focus of the school, and it lends to what we heard a little bit earlier to help develop the complete man and to make these facilities first in class, I guess is the best way to describe it. I've always believed that great schools need great facilities to serve the interests of the students, of today's students, as they're certainly more informed, more broad in their outlook than some of them years past. So anyway, we've cut the ribbon. It's kind of official now. So if I could, I'd just like to take a minute to make some dedications to the complex here, and I'd like to dedicate it to fair play. I'd like to dedicate it to building character, and I'd like to dedicate it to lots of victories for SAC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's about 28 months ago that this began in Vancouver in a restaurant where Scott and I had the pleasure of spending some time with Bill and Liz. And it was an incredible moment, something that I will personally never forget. I mentioned this to the group last night at the reunion. It couldn't ask for a better pair of people for me, my first time having the opportunity to try to grow the school in this context, and other than Bill and Liz. They're wonderful people, they're true Andrians, they got the ball rolling, and we're experiencing this today. I want to thank each and every person for coming this afternoon to celebrate this grand opening and our 107th Cadet Inspection. Thank you so much to Bill and Liz for your tremendous generosity. Thank you.
The Cadet Commanding Officer will now approach our reviewing officer and invite our reviewing party to inspect the cadets of the Corps.
Right! Onset! Shot! Height strong, stand back! Remainder, stand up! Eight!
With the inspection of the Corps completed, the Cadet Commanding Officer will now ask for permission to do a march past.
Hooray! Octave! Jump! Ready, well, more fast and call the route. Move to the right and call the route. Right! Turn!
In command of Sifton Company, Captain Nicholas Chin. In command of Laidlaw New Company, Major Dylan Hussey. In command of Memorial Company, Captain Brennan DeLangley. In command of Ramsey Company, Captain Craig Hassler. In command of Flavel Company, Captain Ross Hines. In command of Smith Company, Captain John Cannon.
Eyes front!
In command of Training Company, Captain Scott Wood. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce the commanding officer of the number 142 St. Andrews College Highland Cadet Corps, Major Brian McHugh.
Mr. Yuill, the Honorable Lois Brown, Your Worship Jeff Daw, Chairman Sifton, invited guests, friends, and cadets. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today to celebrate the culmination of another very successful cadet training year. An Army Cadet Corps of this size requires tremendous help from our own dedicated faculty and CIC Reserve officers. I'd like to begin today by thanking my team of dedicated officers, civilian instructors, and volunteers for their tireless effort. I would also like to thank our Corps sponsor, the Board of Governors of St. Andrews College. In a time where many organizations are quick to dispense with tradition, St. Andrews College continues to embrace these traditions and the fine leadership program that we bring to our young men. Our cadet detachment provides tremendous support to our annual field training exercises and throughout the year with equipment and military guidance. I would also like to recognize the tremendous support provided by our affiliated unit, the 48th Highlanders of Canada. Today we were honored to have with us a number of Highlanders, including Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Alan Best, SAC Class of '92. Thank you to all the friends and supporters of the 142nd St. Andrews College Highland Cadet Corps. This is a very special day indeed. This year we've had a very strong group of leaders and cadets. I would like to take this time to recognize some of the outstanding achievements, beginning with the best middle school cadet. The trophy for the best middle school cadet is presented by the 48th Highlander chapter of the Imperial Order of the Daughters of the Empire. Their charitable work has been valued for more than 70 years, and they've been strong supporters of our Cadet Corps in many ways. I would like to ask Honorary Colonel John Newman to present this trophy on behalf of the 48th Highlander chapter of the IODE. The Best Middle School Cadet Award is presented to a second-year cadet who has demonstrated diligence and dedication in the Red Star training program. After completing his Green Star last year in grade 7, he attended the Basic Cadet Training Summer Camp at Blackdown Cadet Training Center at Base Borden. He was promoted to the rank of corporal and began his Red Star training this past fall. In addition, he participated in the Regimental Remembrance Parade, and he was on our senior marksmanship team for the area marksmanship competition. This cadet was the leading force in creating the drill team that you saw earlier today, and he recruited the majority of its members personally. The trophy for the top middle school cadet is presented to Corporal Elliot Powers. The J.L. Wright Trophy is presented to the best upper school cadet. This year's winner has been an all-rounder in our cadet program. He took on an advanced leadership role this year as a staff cadet in the Green Star program. He was the team captain of our senior marksmanship team and was presented earlier this week with the H.L. Crow Trophy as the top marksman. In addition to marksmanship, this cadet became an avid Nordic skier this year and a member of our biathlon team. He competed with our team at the Area Cadet Biathlon this winter, finishing in second place and qualified to represent Central Ontario area for the provincial championship held in Sault Ste. Marie. At the provincial level, our team finished proudly with a bronze medal. In addition to local and regional training, this cadet participated in the annual summer training camp in Scotland with the British Army Cadets, where he was awarded the top all-round cadet at the camp, which isn't too bad for a colonial. He hopes to defend this title on his return to Scotland this coming summer. I would like to ask our Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Sifton, to present the J.L. Wright Trophy to this year's winner, Captain Scott Wood. The 48 Highlanders of Canada Trophy for the Best Pipe Band Cadet is presented by Honorary Colonel John Newman in memory of his father, Major Maitland Fuller Newman. Major Newman attended St. Andrews College from 1904 to 1908. He joined the 15th Battalion, 48 Highlanders of Canada, and served with the Canadian Expeditionary Force from 1914 to 1918. Despite being wounded at Vimy Ridge, he returned to serve with the 2nd Battalion, 48 Highlanders of Canada from 1940 to 1945. The trophy is awarded to the best pipe band cadet, a young man that excels in musical ability, drill, dress, and personal deportment, and has proven to be a role model to his fellow bandsmen. This year's winner of the 48 Highlanders of Canada Trophy for the Best Pipe Band Cadet is awarded to Sergeant Andrew Keenleyside. I'd like to ask Honorary Colonel John Newman and the Pipe Major of the 48 Highlanders to both come up and present this trophy. The Gord Marshall Leadership Award is presented to the graduating staff cadet who has demonstrated outstanding leadership for the cadets under his command. I would like to welcome the members of the Marshall family here with us today and invite Mrs. Margaret Marshall to present this award. The winner of the Gord Marshall Leadership Award is presented to a young man that has given his full attention to leading both his subordinates and his peers throughout the training program and ceremonial duties. This cadet has been an exemplary role model to his cadets during the first and second term as the Course Sergeant Major of Gold Star. He was the acting RSM for a number of parades throughout the year, and he proved to be an exemplary role model as the company commander for Sifton Company. This year's Gord Marshall Leadership Award is presented to Captain Nicholas Chin. The Duke of Edinburgh's award is perhaps the most prestigious International Youth Achievement Award. Created in 1963 by Prince Philip, it promotes achievements in 4 component areas: physical fitness, community service, skill development, and the expedition component. I'd like to invite our Member of Parliament, Mrs. Lois Brown, to present the Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Awards to the following Red Star cadets: Corporal Angelus Pratis, William Thompson, Aidan Calverley, Justin Lee, and Nicholas Bell. We have a very special presentation this year. Lieutenant Colonel Wines, representing the Royal Canadian Legion, is here to present 2 new rifles to our flag party. Colonel Wines has been attending the Annual Cadet Inspection for 40 years. And during the last 17 years, he has been our League Liaison Officer. He has been a former commanding officer of the Queen's York Rangers, a senior officer for Central Region, and past president for Royal Canadian Legion, Colonel Tilston, BC Branch Aurora. Today we'd like to present the 142 St. Andrews College with 2 ceremonial 303 Mark IV rifles made in 1942. These have been completely restored with nickel plating and repolished for our guard escorts to the flag. I'd ask the flag party commander to march the flags forward. The Corps seemed to build momentum throughout the year, and Term 3 saw the esprit de corps rise to a feverish pitch as we approached the final parades. The competition for Best Platoon and Best Company trophies were fierce, and the companies challenged each other daily to outdo one another. This year, specific company challenge contests took place in marksmanship, drill, fitness challenges, and particularly company cheers that were very animated just the other day. It has certainly been a fierce battle by both the boarding and the day boy companies. The Ellsworth Trophy for the best platoon is presented to the individual platoon that has given their full effort during training. I would like to ask Major Scott Bissell, our regional training officer, to present the Ellsworth Trophy to the best platoon in training and on parade. Please come forward, Platoon Commander Lieutenant Bogdanov from Sifting Company. Mr. Brian G. Armstrong, class of 1961, was a member of our Board of Governors from 1976 to 2005, and Board Chairman from 1996 to 2005. On his retirement from the Board, the school dedicated a trophy to the best company in his honor. Throughout the year, all companies have been accumulating points for excellence in drill practices, on parade, and through a variety of other challenges. I'd like to congratulate all the companies for a tremendously successful year and for giving your full effort these past few weeks on parade. Now we need a drum roll. Finishing in third place with 365 points, Laval Company. In second place is Sifton Company with 366 points. I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Alan Best, Commanding Officer of our affiliated unit, the 48th Highlanders of Canada, to present the Brian G. Armstrong Award to this year's winner, Memorial Company. I'd like to ask Captain Langley and Company Sergeant Major Hayden Norman to please come forward to accept the trophy. I've just been informed that Lieutenant Colonel Best was also from Memorial House, but this has not been fixed at all. Also, I'd like to point out that it is a suiting finish for Memorial to send off their house parents, Anne and Bob Perrier, who are retiring at the end of this year. And Anne in particular has been very active in our cadet program and has been involved with cadets not only here at St. Andrews College, but previously at number 2 Army Cadet Corps at Bishop College School. And we're certainly going to miss Anne Perrier when she moves on to greener pastures somewhere else, back probably in Quebec, in La Belle Province. Thank you, Anne. And Bob. At this time, I would like to invite the Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Sifton, to say a few words.
Thank you, Brian. The Honorable Lois Brown, Your Worship, Mayor Jeff Daw, Lieutenant Colonel Alan Best, Honorary Colonel Newman, Headmaster McHenry, Major McHugh, Mr. and Mrs. Yuill, of course, parents, old boys, guests, supporters of the school, and you cadets. Welcome to the 107th Annual Inspection of the 142 St. Andrews College Highland Cadet Corps. This is a very special day in the life of St. Andrews. It is the culmination of months of hard work by our bands, by our cadets, and of course by the cadet staff. Today is also a special day for me because, as the cadets heard in the chapel a little bit earlier, when I was the cadet lieutenant colonel, I badly tore the tendons in my ankle at a rugby practice just prior to the inspection, which forced me to sit and watch my second in command lead the Corps. Today I get to watch my son lead the parade, something I was unable to do 33 years ago. Congratulations to Major McHugh, officers, NCOs, bands, cadets, and Corps staff. You have put on a show that is unmatched by any other school. Well done. When I was a student here, I never really understood and appreciated the enormity of getting the whole school on parade. One has to remember that this feat is performed every year with new leadership, new cadet leadership. Since graduation, I have returned for several inspections and stood in awe as I have watched this achievement. Cadets, you too will stand in awe when you return for future inspections. As part of our preparation for our current SAC strategic plan, the planning committees canvassed our stakeholders for input on the school aspects that we should keep, change, or discard. This input came from students, parents of old boys, and of course old boys. As expected, the feedback told us to maintain our high standards in scholastics, sports, drama, and the arts. What we also heard was, especially from the old boys, is don't ever drop chapel, carol service, and cadets. They told us these are the traditions that St. Andrews differentiates itself from all others. These are the traditions that make St. Andrews not an ordinary place. And of course, these are the traditions that contribute to the making of the complete man, a well-rounded citizen. I believe the cadet program offers character development opportunities like no other. Through it, the students develop discipline, the discipline to flawlessly perform various tasks. Teamwork, to perform disciplined tasks in unison, as we've seen today. Courage, the courage to lead and the courage to follow. Pride in oneself, pride in achieving perfection, and the pride in one's appearance. Leadership. Cadets provide a plethora of opportunities for leadership development, which is consistent with the philosophy that leadership cannot be taught, but it can be learned. When a boy enters St. Andrews Cadet Program, he learns the first of many leadership principles. I believe one has to learn how to take a command before you truly know how to give a command. You need to understand how to be led before you can truly lead. Cadets, I know you have experienced good and maybe not so good leadership in this program in your time here. That is life. The objective through these experiences is for you to develop your own leadership style by emulating the good attributes and avoiding the bad. The last character leadership development aspect of cadets that I would like to touch on is respect. Mutual respect. It is the essential part of good leadership. Cadets today, you have demonstrated the fact that you've learned how to salute and take commands from a person holding a higher rank. You must do this in the real world too. You also know rank does not make the person inside the uniform respected. If you want to be respected as a person, you must demonstrate core values, humility, and most importantly, the ability to respect your troops, your teams, your associates. Looking through the prism of time, the good days and good experiences will stand out, while the not so good will fade. Of course, this comes to mind when I speak with those from class of 62 and 57. I don't think any of their bad experiences came up in the discussions last night. Even those of you on parade who are not the biggest fans of cadets will not want to see this school abandon this very important co-curricular activity. Cadets, this year's school theme is legacy. As you know, legacy is created and perpetuated through good, honest deeds. Everything you do here at St. Andrews contributes to your legacy. Your legacy will become the school's legacy. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want your school to be remembered? The school would not exist if it wasn't for the incredible leadership, energy, and financial contribution of some individuals who chose to leave a lasting physical legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, annual fees pay for our operating expenses. They don't build sports fields, they don't build buildings. We rely on generous Andrians for all campus improvements. Today, we recognize the legacy of Bill and Liz Yuill, who have traveled from Alberta to be with us. It is through their leadership, vision, and very substantial gift that this incredible state-of-the-art complex has been built. Bill and Liz, I see one, and Liz, there you are. On behalf of the whole Andrian community, I thank you. I would also like to thank Dan Stock, my fellow governor and chair of the Not an Ordinary Place campaign. Dan has invested countless hours to support Kevin and his leadership team in the design and construction of this facility. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Headmaster McHenry, Greg Reed, Beth McKay for their dogged determination to ensure that St. Andrew is the best state-of-the-art athletic facility of any school in Canada. Guys, Beth, thank you. This Yuill Family Athletic Complex constitutes Phase 1 of Not an Ordinary Place campaign. Phase 2 involves the I've done something. There we go. I guess I won't get too slick here, but I wanted to turn around and face all of our special guests in the back here. Phase 2 involves the construction of a building that will connect the end of Ketchum and the end of the Great Hall, the dining hall. This transformational building will address our program needs in drama, engineering, business, and of course, music. And we've heard about our spectacular music program, and we've heard the results of it today. But this facility will also improve how we feed our boys, as well as provide a venue large enough that for the first time in many, many years, we'll be able to have the whole school and faculty gather in one place. From governors and the leadership team, we have, and of course, very generous Andrians and parents of Andrians, we have raised $19.2 million of the required $28 million to complete our Not an Ordinary Place campaign. I invite all members of the Andrian community to join the legacy builders like Bill Yuill, Dem Rogers, Alf Worth, and others in this transformational undertaking. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to stand between 580 young guys in uniform and their weekend any longer. Cadets, congratulations. Be proud of what you have accomplished today. This is your legacy. Michael, well done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stiffen. I think there's a lot to be said for that. Today is a celebration. It's a celebration of many things, but I want to take a moment just to reflect, because some of the seniors that are going to be leaving the gates of St. Andrews here in the next few weeks, really, they have spent, some of them up to 6 years as part of the Cadet Corps. And I think today is a fantastic day, and I think with your leadership, it's gone even better than I've ever dreamed. I'd like to take a moment to thank our graduating cadets as they finish their final parade with 142 St. Andrews College Highland Cadet Corps. Well done. Mr. Yuill, thank you so much for attending our parade today as our reviewing officer and for your extraordinary generosity. On behalf of the officers, NCOs, and cadets, please accept this gift as a small token of our appreciation.
I would now like to call Major Scott Bissell to come forward and make a special presentation to Major Brian McHugh, who is earning the Canadian Decoration First Class for his 22 years of service. Today marks a special day as we graduate our Cadet Commanding Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sifton, and welcome a new Cadet Commanding Officer, Scott Wood. Both these young men have an interesting connection to the Corps history. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sifton's father, Michael Sr., was the Cadet Commanding Officer in 1979. It has been wonderful to see two generations come through the Cadet Corps. Our incoming CO, Scott Wood, has been fully engaged in all aspects of cadet training and has successfully achieved the role his brother Brad held just 2 years ago. Today celebrates a father-son combination as well as two brothers holding the position of Cadet Commanding Officer. I would like to call upon Lieutenant Colonel Alan Best, Class of '92, Commanding Officer of our affiliated unit, the 48th Highlanders of Canada, as well as Major Brian McHugh, the Commanding Officer of the No. 142 St. Andrews College Highland Cadet Corps, to come forward to officiate the change of command. Lieutenant Colonel Sifton and Captain Scott Wood, please come forward.
Sir!
In proper military tradition, the battalion will now conduct a second march past in honor of the outgoing commanding officer. Following the march past, Lieutenant Colonel Sifton will parade past the entire battalion for his final time.
Parade will march past the outgoing commanding officer. Parade, action, shut. Parade will march past the outgoing commanding officer. Move to the right and call the route. Right, shut.
Please stand. Please be seated. As Lieutenant Colonel Sifton starts his final march out, ladies and gentlemen, please join in a round of applause as the outgoing commanding officer bids his Highlanders farewell.
Just before he goes for his outgoing march, the outgoing CO has asked for one last thing. He would like to see the chairman of the board for a special presentation. Michael Jr. is presenting his father with a photo of Mike Sr. on parade as the cadet commanding officer receiving an award from his father. A very special moment indeed. The Colonel's final walk. Well done.
Please rise.
Parade! General salute! Present! Arms!
please remain standing for the departure of the reviewing party and the anthems.
Parade, present, arms! Parade, slope, arms! Mr. Leslie! There! March off! Flags! Flag party! Well then! Flags! To the flag! Present! Arms! Right. Parade! Slope! Arms! Officers! Fall out!
Please be seated. The parade will now be turned over to the Regimental Sergeant Major, who will march the Corps off parade. The traditional return to barracks march, the Black Bear, will be played with the young men cheering in celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our 107th Annual Cadet Inspection. On behalf of the cadets and staff, thank you for being part of this year's parade. Please join us in Yuill Gymnasium in Rogers Hall for refreshments and a special presentation of the new St. Andrews College video, Not an Ordinary Place. Thank you, Godspeed, and have a safe journey home.